Technology played a very important role because one thing we identified in the market, like I told you, gyms were empty, fitness centers are empty.
Yeah. Yeah.
So infrastructure is not the problem. I personally thought that this was one industry where consumer was not king. If I have to cater to in a country of 1 billion people, 1.4 billion people, if I have to cater to 1% people, which is 1 million people,
Okay.
I need to have at least 4,000 gyms. Today, when you say health insurance, it is not health insurance. So it doesn't make you healthy.
Yeah.
It only helps you pay your hospitalization bill. Yes, you just look at unutilized capacity in the market.
Yeah.
So we gyms that have capacity that is not being used, people aren't coming in. That is more than $2.3 billion worth. If I fulfill it at 100 rupees a workout. We also understood that only exercise or only access to gym is not what is needed. People want exercise, nutrition, coaching, doctor consults, health checkups, medical facilities, diagnostics, all of that,
Yeah.
one subscription.
What 3 core principles made the model really work? Good evening, everyone, and welcome to this exclusive HelloPM Expert AMA session. I am thrilled to be hosting what promises to be a high value conversation on product growth and entrepreneurship. I request everyone to switch on their cameras, make it a little more visible. If it is possible for all of you to switch on your cameras, please. Introducing someone who has not only built a thriving business but is redefining what accessible fitness can look like in India. Our guest today is Akshay Verma, co founder of FitPass, India's largest fitness and wellness membership platform, offering access to over 8,100 plus gyms and wellness centers across the country. Akshay brings a rare mix of sharp business acumen and purpose driven innovation. He began his career as an investment banker in London at UBS before returning to India to build solutions that makes fitness affordable, flexible, and tech enabled. Educated at St. Stephen's College, Oxford, and Columbia University, he brings both a global lens and a deep local insight to his work. His journey is also rooted in social impact through initiatives like Agratam India, where he works on transforming unproductive land into profitable fish farms. He's been recognized with numerous awards, including Times 40 Under 40, Entrepreneur of the Year, Forbes Globalist 23, ET Inspiring Leaders Award. Please join me in welcoming a visionary entrepreneur, a relentless builder, and someone with a bold mission to make India fitter, Akshay Verma. Akshay, now the stage is yours. I would like to invite you.
Hi guys, good evening. Thank you very much for such a warm and kind introduction. Such a lengthy introduction also makes me feel like I've been around for decades now. So makes me feel a bit older. But thank you very much for the kind introduction and for
Thank
giving us
you.
time on a Saturday evening.
Thank you to you from your busy schedule. You managed to give us some time. We are very grateful to you. And let's make it an interactive session. It's going to be a fireside chat between you and me for 30 minutes. Meanwhile,
My pleasure to be here because product is something that is very close to my heart.
oh,
It is the
perfect.
core of everything we do. So I'm very happy to engage with this community.
Perfect. So let's get right into it. Akshay, we would like to first understand the journey from the idea to 174 crores ARR. This is huge. Let's begin at the origin, right? What led you and Arushi to identify this opportunity in the fitness space? Was there a moment when you knew this was worth betting on?
Okay, so obviously in hindsight, things are clearer than when we begin. But when we started, it came from our own personal journeys, both Arushi and mine. What we wanted to do was very clear that we wanted to make fitness super accessible. Where that came from was the fact that I personally thought that this was one industry where consumer was not king. Because this was a traditional industry where where the gym owners or the infrastructure, the supply side said, pay me 20, 30,000 rupees upfront
Okay.
You have to buy the membership upfront for the
Yeah.
whole.
Yep.
Then whether you come or not, don't come, that is your problem.
Okay.
You are not with me for the whole year. So if I offer only strength and cardio and you want to do Zumba, you have to find another membership. So there were just, it felt like usually every other industry, the consumer was king. How much they wanted to pay, their willingness to pay, their ability to pay, their pattern of consumption, they could decide. They were empowered. This was
Yeah.
an industry where they were being disempowered.
Okay.
And that was really the crux of it because we wanted to put the consumer first and make them the king. They should be able to decide how they want to get fit, where they
Yeah.
want to get fit, not limited by any one gym, any one postcode, any one infrastructure asset. They should
Yep.
do close to home, close to office, whatever format they want, whatever number of months they want. They should not feel like because 97% of gym goers felt that they paid money but didn't use it fully.
Yeah.
In India, there was so much drop off. And
Yeah.
if you go to any gym in India, even today, like no gym is operating at more than 30% capacity. Okay, doesn't
Absolutely.
matter how big a brand it is. Okay.
Yep.
So if you're running an asset that is 70% empty and
Yeah.
you lose customers every year, there is some problem. And the problem is consumer is not key. So
Yeah.
we wanted to establish an equilibrium in the market where
Right.
the consumer had more choice, and more empowered control of their own choices versus the infrastructure owners.
Yeah, it makes sense because every time I have also taken the gym subscription, I ended up dropping off. It was not working out, or maybe I was not having enough time. So there was no motivation, no push. But FitPass has done it differently. As I can, like, we all know FitPass now is a very huge brand. It's growing 205% year after year. So it's a huge deal. And I'm sure our audience today is as excited as I am to personally have a one on one chat with you. I'm really excited, anyhow.
Thank you.
My follow up question here: what gaps did you see in the traditional experience and technology could solve, other than what you already have mentioned that you made the consumer the king? But see, there were so many just so many startups that came and they went off, and I came in like I came across an article where I saw that you and Arushi had an emergency meeting because all your competitors were failing. So how did you overcome that?
That's a very good question. So, making consumer the king was the purpose with which we started.
Right.
Now you're asking me how we have been on that
Yeah.
journey.
Yeah.
So, technology played a very important role because one thing we identified in the market, like I told you, gyms were empty, fitness centers are empty.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, infrastructure is not the problem.
Okay.
Opening new gyms is not the problem.
Yeah.
Opening fancier centers is not the problem.
Yeah.
Bringing more people into the ecosystem is the opportunity.
Yeah.
Getting more people inside the centers and helping them build habits that keep them there and
Okay.
on the journey, that is the opportunity.
Okay.
Opening a new gym is not the opportunity. And I'll quickly explain why. I'll give you an analogy. Okay.
Yeah.
You guys know the airline industry?
Yeah.
Okay. Right now in the country, maybe 3 airlines are operating. Okay. And till now, maybe 14, 15 have tried.
Yeah.
It
And
doesn't matter how much money you bring,
yeah.
what your background is.
Yeah.
No airline is a unicorn. Okay. Yes.
Understood. Yes.
Everybody selling tickets of these airlines is a unicorn.
Okay.
Yeah, make my
Yeah,
trip.
you rightly said. I never noticed that way.
Yeah,
Yes.
make my trip. All the OTAs. Easy.
Yes.
Mexico, Ease My Trip. All of them.
Yeah.
Clear Trip, Go ID.
Yeah.
Infrastructure owners are only 3 right now. So there are only these many tickets, these many seats in the flight. These
Yep.
many tickets to be sold, finite quantity.
Yep. Yep.
So infrastructure, same for the gym industry. People who invested capex, you don't need more people. And it doesn't matter how much money you have and who you try to be, who you have been in your past life.
Yep.
The fitness industry has its own constraints. If I
Yep.
open a new gym, I can only get people from a 2 to 3 kilometer radius. Okay. Nobody's
Right.
going to do 10 kilometers to go to my gym.
Yes.
It doesn't matter how fancy I make it, which celebrity I keep there.
Agreed. Agreed. Yes.
There are only 2 and 3 equipment manufacturers in the country. So everybody puts the same equipment in the gym. Same air conditioner, same light, same mirrors. Okay.
Yeah.
Your trainers also come from the neighborhood.
Yes.
No trainer comes 20 kilometers to work at your gym. So the same trainer works at your gym, my gym, anybody's gym.
Yes.
But
Yes.
all the experience besides are actually the same, except the color of the paint, etc. And
Yeah.
the customer knows this. So,
Yeah.
so the opportunity is not to put more capex in the ecosystem, create one more gym and operate it at 30% capacity. The opportunity is to bring more people into the ecosystem. So
Yeah.
we focused on building distribution. We knew it has to build infrastructure
Yeah.
like OTAs or Uber or Airbnb. So we chose a shared economy model where the infrastructure existed.
Okay.
Our partners, gym network, like you said, we have 8,100 gyms and fitness centers.
Yep.
They already existed. People had already invested the capex and the services were there. But we had to bring more people in. So what did we have to do? We had to build a technology layer on top where all of this inventory could come. All of this opportunity where people wanted to try fitness but couldn't had to be unlocked. So we had to
Yep.
build distribution to get to them. And these guys had to be married. So just how any shared economy player, right? Uber is a shared economy player, Airbnb is a shared economy player, Amazon itself is a shared economy player. The same thing we did. So without technology, we couldn't exist. So technology is critical to how we match these two. So I think the answer to how we competed with everybody else
Yeah.
was the fact that we were trying to, I think we spent a lot of time building trust with our partner network, which is the gyms.
Absolutely.
It is not a market where you keep throwing money because
Yep.
you know, but the gym owner, they are people who've invested 2-3 crores to create a good gym.
Yes. Absolutely.
Okay. So they are not similar to taxi owners or kirana stores or okay. So they have enough money and they've invested it. So they are good businessmen. They have financial resources, maybe they have other resources. Now you have to go and convince them what the problem is.
Okay.
And when we started FitPass, which is in 2015, India was solving roti kapda makan. I keep saying this. Okay, and what I
Yeah.
mean by that is maybe you won't remember some names, but in roti, Zomato, Swiggy weren't that big yet. Okay, there was also Food Panda, Fasos, Tiny Owl, a bunch of other players. Okay,
Yes.
some names you may not remember. In
Yeah.
Kappa, there was Jabong, Mitra, a bunch of fashion retailers. In
Yeah.
Makan, there was Makan, Housing, 99 Acres, Common Floor, Magic Bricks, a bunch of these.
Yeah.
So India was solving that, and we said, let's solve fitness. So it was
Yes.
looked at the priorities for people. And while this was being solved, whether it was Kirana store owner or a taxi owner, they were being told what the power of internet is. Right? They were being
Yeah.
educated.
Yeah.
Nobody's educating the gyms. So
Yeah.
today people tell us you had first mover advantage. I keep telling them that in the army, first one through the door gets shot.
Absolutely.
So as the first mover, you have to educate the market, then monetize the market. So we had to spend a lot of time educating our partners what CAC meant, what their true capacity was, where they were operating their business. How technology would help them enhance profitability at zero cost.
All right.
Only when they got convinced and we had that trust in the part on the infrastructure side, could we go to the customer.
Okay.
I think the reason we have succeeded or are on the path of becoming bigger is because we built it ground up. All the competitors you mentioned that they all actually came after us. So they
Okay.
paid our pricing,
Yeah.
but they didn't understand that we had spent so much time before launching in
Yeah.
building the ecosystem, understanding the problems, because as a shared economy, I need to command a lot of credibility in the market. My
Absolutely.
partners, which are my gym partners, need to love me, trust me that I'm on their side. I'm not cannibalizing the market. I am enhancing the market. I'm bringing more people into their centers. I'm increasing the profitability. They need to know that. They need to believe it. And the customers need to love me and trust me.
Right.
Trust is only built through time and by consistent delivery. It is not built by money and by building a brand. So I think that's what differentiated us, that we were very mission focused and very ab initio in our thinking.
Absolutely makes sense. That's what made you different from, because the only platform that I knew of was Cult. And that time I wanted to join it, but somehow, like I said, there is a very crucial pain point when it comes to this ecosystem is when you take hold of your customers.
Yes.
Retention. So my follow up question here is, how did you retain your customers till date?
So this is a great one because When did we really feel that we have disrupted the industry?
Yeah, that's
So we really felt it when our numbers showed that we have inverted the consumption pattern.
okay.
In the traditional gym industry, even maybe whatever name you have taken or whoever it is in the market, nobody has above 25% retention.
Okay.
Which means every year they lose 75% customers.
Okay. I'm sure.
And I'll explain why also, but I'm just giving you the statistics right now. And we retain 78% month on month.
Wow. That's
Okay. So that is when we realized that customers love having choice and having the power to do what they want, pause it, start it, go to whichever location. Like today, we realize that 97% of our users use two locations primarily, one close to home, one close to office. Okay.
Yep.
And they
Yep.
do three workout formats. So it could be strength, cardio, dance, or strength, cardio, yoga, whatever.
Zumba and all, yes.
Two centers and three workout formats. That's common behavior today.
Okay.
So when we started, that wasn't the case. Gyms can't offer this because gym is either, and the gym is a full stack gym. Then maybe it doesn't have the best trainers. It's like a restaurant, right?
Yeah.
If you want, when you want to eat, close to your
Yeah.
home, there are many restaurants. You might love Indian food, but you
Yeah.
also want to eat Chinese. You also want to eat sushi. You also want to eat South Indian. You also want to eat Korean, whatever, right? Pizza, etc. So you need choices.
Yeah.
Similarly, with your fitness, you need choices. You want to do what you want. In the summer, you want to swim. Sometimes you want to play. So for FitPass, the idea was that people need to be active. We keep saying the line is sitting is the new smoking. Right? That's what we keep telling people. But the biggest problem is inactivity.
Inactive.
Our biggest competition is the sofa. If somebody is on the sofa, if I can get them to wear their shoes and tie their laces, they're my customer.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's not my customer. It doesn't matter where they get fit. Eventually, they'll come to FitPass. But
Okay.
if I can't get them off the couch, then I've lost the customer.
Okay. Understood.
If you think about it. So,
Yes. It makes sense.
okay.
No, go on. Sorry.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. So when I was talking about why they lose 75% customers, the biggest problem with that with the gyms is, or with infrastructure owners is, one is you have to understand that they can only acquire a customer in the radius I told you, 2 to 3 kilometers.
Yep.
In that radius, it's not like new houses are being built every year.
Yep.
Population isn't growing exponentially in that 2 to 3 kilometer radius.
Yep.
And who do they need? They need a person who's able to pay 20,000, 30,000 rupees in one go. Okay. We're a country where 60% of the people are below 35 years of age. Average
Yes.
income is 28,000 rupees. So
Yes.
how many people have 20,000 rupees to give in one go? Limited number.
Yes.
You need that limited person to come to you. Within
Yes.
that, you need that limited person to live close to you and choose a location that is close to their home and not close to their office or some other location.
Yes.
Then that person must be committed to choosing your workout format. They shouldn't want
Yeah.
to go swimming next time. Or this, so for the whole year, they must be ready to commit. This is a very focused funnel. So
Yeah.
usually what happens in this industry is people rotate in a location. So say I'm in Delhi, in GK. In one market, there are 17 gyms. Or in
Right.
Punjabi Bagh, where is Club Road, there are 7 gyms next to each other. Okay?
Yes.
People rotate. Basis the trainer who has new equipment. New people don't enter. Okay. So new people aren't coming to the gym as many as are losing. And what happens next year is that a lot of people feel that they paid enough money, but they didn't use it. So they come back and say, boss, I'll renew,
Okay.
but I don't want to pay the same amount.
Okay.
I'll pay a little lesser because I didn't use it fully last time.
Right.
So ARPU decreases,
Yes.
but all your other costs at the gym are increasing. Right? Your rent would have increased. Your landlord would have said, give me more rent this year. Your staff will say, give me more salary, your higher salary. Your assets would have undergone wear and tear. So your ARPU is decreasing and your costs are increasing. And that is why after 3 years, you realize that there is a problem. Because those who are retaining at the lower ARPU, those who have gone, you lost your cat, and your costs are increasing. So what do you do? That is where we come in.
Okay.
So we have no capex. We build distribution to a mammoth scale. Like today, we have on a daily basis, we have 112,000 people working out through us. I don't think any gym chain in the country has 1 lakh members also. 1 lakh is a huge number. I
Yes.
can tell you 1,12,000 people are working out through us every day. That's my DAO.
Yes. Yeah, that's a huge the gap that you have filled so far, and you have been able to do it successfully. I mean, there is a flip side to it. So, what if you were to start FitPass at 2025? What were the set of challenges that were different from that you were having back then?
I think 2025 now it's too late to start
Yeah,
FitPass. Okay,
yeah,
simply because when we started, our bet was that because we're a young country and the bet is demographic dividend,
right.
that this young population will increase their consumption as it joins the workforce, earns more money, the economy gets propelled. That time, the average age was even younger. Today, the average age of the country is 28. So now most of the people are earning now. 10
Yes.
years ago. So you have to capture the wallet share now. So if you started now, it will be a bit too late because also COVID happened. So awareness suddenly came back where people now know that during COVID, what were you asked? And COVID was a very difficult time for me, my family, for a lot of people, I'm sure. The one thing the doctor asked you was, do you have comorbidities? The comorbidities were preventable lifestyle diseases, obesity, hypertension, diabetes, preventable. Preventable by what? By exercise and by nutrition. That is what they call preventable. But today, despite being the youngest country in the world, we have all these titles, right? Diabetic capital of the world, obesity capital of the world, etc. But all these problems are with whom? Largely with people above 40,
Yes.
which is which is a lower population for me in India right now. Majority population is still below 35. They haven't become sick yet. So
Yeah.
today, if I started, then by the time I educated them and monetized, it would be too late. So we're glad we started, when people didn't have any faith that fitness will rise. But I think the bet on the fact that as we grow and as we become a richer nation, people will realize that the true wealth is their own time, their fitness, their wellness, and that is where it's coming. That is what has happened in the West. Okay, and if you really think about it, it's like an evergreen business.
Yeah.
The longer you live, as you're able to afford better medical care, you eat better food, the longer you live, the more you need to take care of yourself. The
Yes.
more you need to invest in your fitness and wellness.
Yeah.
So even when I die, this business will continue because India is only going to become more prosperous.
Yes. Absolutely. Thank you so much. Now we will move on to core product and go to market strategies because it's more focused on our product management side of it. So, like FitPass is one of the rare startups that started fast without burning capital, is what we heard. What are some of the key product and go to market decisions that made it possible? I think some you already answered. Couple of more that you would like to
Okay.
enlighten us with.
So I can be frank and candid here because most of you guys are builders. So when we started, there were in 2015 that people, the VCs or whatever, didn't even have a thesis for fitness, right? Because they were solving roti kapda makan, Uber hadn't become big yet, Ola wasn't big, mobility, logistics hadn't been solved. Fitness was on nobody's radar. In fact, one investor told us कि मुझे दिन में 3 बार भूख लगती है और मुझे 3 बार अलग खाना होता है. जिम में जाऊं नहीं जाऊं मेरा मन है.
Okay.
So that was one eye-opening fact for us because we realized VCs in India. So I worked in private equity for many years in the UK.
Okay.
Okay, which is a very liquid market. The West is very liquid. India, you barely have 19 VCs, very liquid market.
Very liquid.
So the fact they think कि उनका decision, how they feel today is how the world is going to be in 10 years' time, showed me that the VCs in India at that time were not people who had run businesses or built businesses.
Okay.
2015, the startup ecosystem didn't have so many unicorns, hadn't seen so many exits. So
Agreed.
everybody was immature. Right?
Yeah.
The idea of building a thesis is that you try to see what will happen in the next 10 years and you back that.
Right.
Not what is. If you're hungry today and you have 3 different choices, that's fine. But do you see India getting fitter later or D? That was the bet. But we realized they didn't have a thesis. So getting VC money was tough.
Yeah.
And I'll give you one more example. When we started, competitors came.
Yes.
So one of these big VCs, like these top panel VCs came to us and said that we really need you. Okay, we're backing you. But there's a lot of competition. Let us see how it plays out. I had PE experience. Arushi had a lot of experience. We rooted out all the competition in the next 6 months.
Right.
Same VC came back to us and said, "Oh, now you're the only one standing."
Yeah.
Okay, so we're not sure if the market is big enough.
Yes.
So then we knew that the only way to build a business, either that time we had to pack up and go, or we had to find a way of making ourselves so big and without riding somebody else's coattails so that we didn't have to burn money. So then we thought of who is chasing the young Indian customer.
Right.
We were thinking that CureFit raised obnoxious money.
Yeah.
So now VCs were definitely locked out for us because if you CureFit raised 15 million before they even began. So the VCs would be like, only if I can give you 16 million, can you compete? So they have 15. If I give you 2, it won't compete.
Yeah.
So no VCs in India had 16 million to give because all the early stage VCs had got locked in with CureFit, IDG, Axel, Kalari. Okay. So
Yeah.
then we have to think of who has the same amount of money or more money than
Right.
CureFit would have to acquire customers.
Right.
So then we realized that banks have it. Banks want to be your first debit card, your first credit card.
Okay.
So they spend a lot of money in acquiring you as a customer. So what can we do with banks?
Yeah.
We realized health insurance in India was not working out. People weren't buying
Yeah.
because the young population thought that there's nothing in it for them. So we
Yes.
started working with
Yeah.
the government to change insurance regulation.
Oh, right.
Yeah, that today when you say health insurance, it is not health insurance. It doesn't make you healthy.
Yeah.
It only helps you pay your hospitalization bill.
Absolutely.
So when you call it a wellness plan, it is not wellness because a financial wellness plan means I have 100 rupees in my pocket. You help me make it 150.
Yes.
But when you, in your health wellness plan, you actually want me to fall sick first and then hope you bring me back to 100. It don't make me from 100 to 150 so that when I fall sick, my baseline is that is not what you do.
No.
You first want me to lose my health, then try and bring
Yeah.
it back then. So
Yeah.
can we flip this and can we help people become healthy? So that conversation we started with the government in 2017.
Okay.
In 2020, we were able to change the regulation and the rules in the country. Now,
Okay.
health insurance includes access to fitness.
Okay.
This was our biggest GTM. This is
Okay.
where FITPASS flipped because the regulator only approved FITPASS to be embedded with insurance. So now when you buy any insurance in the market, whether it is Care Health, ICICI Lombard, Star Health, SBI General, like whoever you want to name,
Yeah.
FITPASS is a part of it.
Okay.
So suddenly distribution became immense. We launched credit cards with India's largest bank, which is State Bank of India. It's called the SBI card Pulse. We launched another card with them with the Apollo card. We launched cards with Bank of Baroda, with Canara Bank, with Kotak. So fitness became a theme. We became the embedded feature. So suddenly we had distribution coming from banks, from insurance companies, from corporates, because nobody else had a network so big. So all large corporates and MNCs who wanted to invest in their employees, we were the only choice. It doesn't matter which gym you are or what asset owner you are possibly not present in Delhi also, Pune also, Raurkela also, Shillong also, you're not present. Only FitPass had that kind of breadth and the network size. So we became the go-to choice. So suddenly, because we were able to build distribution, that was our GTN. And we didn't have to spend money because we had to. So I think the key message is we didn't compete by being louder. We competed by being smarter.
Absolutely. Thanks, Akshay. Just a follow-up question on this. We wanted to talk a little bit about the pricing and the product positioning. Correct me if I'm wrong. You started with 999 rupees of subscription monthly, or right, monthly. And now it has changed to somewhere around 1599 or 1499, if I'm not wrong.
Yes.
At what point did you realize that FitPass needed a shift in pricing model or product positioning or customer acquisition tactics? What the key signals or data points that you wanted to shift that?
That's a very good question. Like I told you, we wanted consumer to be king. I also told you where we thought most of the country was young with an average income of 28,000 rupees.
Yeah.
So we wanted fitness to be as flexible as food delivery. I told you.
Yeah.
food delivery costs you 100 rupees. You would get food at home for 100 rupees. Uber would take you from point A to point B in 100 rupees.
Yeah.
Why
They
should
do.
your workout cost you more than 100 rupees? Was our is our North Star. Like workouts can't cost you more than 100 rupees each workout.
Yeah.
So we launched at 999.
Okay.
Where an average person works out 8 to 10 times a month.
Yeah.
People think they can work out 30 times, but they don't. Your
Okay.
body can't do it. Even elite athletes don't do it.
Yes.
And anybody who brings fitness in their life,
Yeah.
we call a fitster. You know how there is the word foodie?
Foodie. Yes.
So a foodie can be vegetarian, non-vegetarian, vegan, could eat out once a month, could eat out once a week. They enjoy food on their own terms,
Yes.
but they're all called foodie. There was no such word for fitness enthusiasts. The word was fitness freak. Look,
Yeah.
he gave up everything, he or she gave up everything and only did fitness. But
Yes.
what about normal people who brought fitness in their life on their own terms? So we call them fitsters. So our
Okay.
community of fitsters now 6 million plus. All these people are who? They go for social commitments, they have their families, they have babies, they have friends, so they have the social life. Plus they
Right.
adopt fitness on their own terms in their own way. So somebody who's done this works out 8 to 10 times a month, which is actually double the global average.
Yeah.
A lot of people used to think Indians don't like to get fit. Actually, if you look at the data in the US and in Europe, people work out 4.12 times or 4.17 times a month. This is
Okay.
data from GymPass and ClassPass, who are our peers and are both the unicorns. That's
Okay.
the point to you that only shared economy players have unicorns. CapEx investments don't have unicorns.
Okay.
So we understood that people work out 8 to 10 times. So pricing at 999 was meeting that. So 999 also included 15% service tax at
Tax.
that time.
At that. Yeah.
Then 2016 saw demonetization. Okay, so our journey has not been like this. It's been like, so
I'm sure.
2015 we start, 2016 we scaled, we got to 1,000 gyms in Delhi. 2016 November there's demonetization. It doesn't affect us, but it affects our partners greatly, who were largely a cash business. Gyms were largely cash businesses. So when the partner network suffered, we suffered. So we had to help them with pricing. We had to help them. So we were forced to increase pricing, but we didn't at that time.
Okay.
We helped them getting more customers. We were doing really well in 2017. In 2018 came GST said that gyms should be taxed at 28% because they have ACs, so they are luxury. So we
Yeah.
wrote lots of letters to the government. We exempted a lot that how can eating junk food cost you 5% and staying fit and healthy cost you 28%?
Yeah.
You need a fit and productive workforce. We wrote a letter to the government saying that if people fall sick, they buy medicines.
Yeah.
You become a $5 trillion economy when people buy medicines. You become a $5 trillion economy when people consume, they buy iPhones.
Yeah.
So you need people to be fitter and stronger, not falling sick. So after 6 months, they moved it from 28 to 18%.
Okay. Yeah. I think that must have helped.
So that helped, but now you have become 3% more expensive for the user because you were in a 15% service tax regime. Suddenly you became 18%.
Yeah.
So 3% you were forced to. Now the decision was, will the gym partner network bear it, FitPass bear it, or the customer bear it? So we saw that. We started doing really well. 2019 was a phenomenal year. 2020 March, we got lockdown. They were first to get lockdown. From March 2020 to November 2021 November, that's 21 months. We were locked down, zero.
Oh, I'm sure.
And then when we opened, it was a new world where gyms had suffered. We had really helped gyms with a lot of advances, this, that, whatever we could do during that period for them to stay afloat, to run. Even as human beings, we had to be there for them. And I think that is what I tell you. That trust is what helps us grow so fast because people in the ecosystem know that we're there for them no matter what.
Yeah.
So suddenly now when it opened, gyms had suffered. 100 rupee workout was not working out anymore. They
Yep.
needed support. And customers this time were willing to support because now they also wanted to consume fitness and wellness more than ever before.
Yeah. There was a realization, I think, throughout.
Yeah, I think there was a realization that you had to take care of yourself and nobody else will.
Yeah.
And so that is where pricing had to be, we had to reprice and we had to include, we also understood that only exercise or only access to gym is not what is needed. People want exercise, nutrition, coaching, doctor consults, health checkups, medical facilities, diagnostics, all of that,
Yeah.
one subscription.
Yes.
So that is how we became FitPass 360, which is one subscription to everything you need.
Okay.
And that costs so little that if you went to the market and took a gym membership separately, a nutritionist separately, and you went to doctor separately, you did a health checkup separately, all of that would pay at least 8 times more than a subscription.
I think, yeah, compared to your pricing, none of the companies or aggregators, I may call it, they don't do that. So I
Because
think
this
that's,
is the power of scale. Because we've hit economies of scale. Right
yeah,
now, we've truly made consumer king because the size of user base we have,
yeah,
and what we've been able to do for our partners by increasing the profitability consistently, we have now been able to keep dropping this because this is what is called the virtuous cycle. If I lower price, what happens? Demand increases.
demand.
When demand increases, what happens? Gyms get more utilization.
Yeah,
If gyms get more utilization, what happens? They drop their prices because they are getting more utilization. When they see that, oh, more gyms are getting utilized, more gyms come into the ecosystem.
yes, yes,
So now two things happen. One, there is competition.
yes,
So when there is competition, consumers win. Two, consumers who did not have gyms close to them now have gyms. So more demand is entering the market.
yes,
So again, what is the all it is doing? Lowering prices.
yes,
Again, lower prices, more demand. So
more.
this cycle only we can control.
Yes, yes.
Nobody else can control this cycle. This is the virtuous cycle of FitPass.
Amazing and very insightful again. I never would have thought that it has a lot of key pointers when you come to build a health ecosystem like this, that too in this scale. Thanks for that. Now we want to understand what made the model work. Again, what you have already spoken about, but let's dive a little deep into this. What were the three core principles? I'm sure there must be more. Like, what three core principles made the model really work? And would you credit this more to strategy, timing, or operational excellence?
So I may absolutely not.
Okay.
Because I think we were far too early. Because
Right.
like I said, 2015 was far too early. But I don't know. And I said, because I don't know, 2020 was COVID, it would be too late. I do not know. So maybe timing worked, but timing is not what we attribute this to. I
Right.
think what we attribute this to is one, we were very focused on not being a capex intensive model,
Okay.
being an asset light shared economy. I think the
Yeah.
choice of model really helped because that allows us scale through technology at a speed or at an escape velocity that no other model does.
Yeah. Yeah.
If I have to cater to in a country of 1 billion people, 1.4 billion people, if I have to cater to 1% people, which is 1 million people,
Okay.
I need to have at least 4,000 gyms.
Yeah.
So no capex owner, no gym chain has 4,000 gyms now.
Yeah.
So they can't. So if they are not even a solution for 1 million people in a country of 1.4 billion people, then how are they a solution? There's only
Yeah.
So we were very focused on that. That if you want to solve for India, it has to be a sharing model. The choice of model.
Yeah. Yeah.
This model required a technology first approach. So focus on product. Because I don't think we went viral because as a product. I think we went viral because through engineering. Because our product was so good that
Yeah.
people liked it, people adopted it, people kept using it, people kept preferring it. Because we didn't have the money to become a brand at that time. So we weren't hiring celebrities telling people to endorse us. Right? Real
Yeah.
customers really enjoyed our product and got us more customers.
Yes.
So one was the choice of model, two was the focus on product, and
Right.
three, I think, because we were patient and we built trust and credibility.
Okay.
People think, I know a lot of people have the mindset that fail fast or burn through cash and then eventually something will figure. We didn't have that luxury. And
Okay.
honestly, I'll tell you, when I started investment banking, it was 2008.
Yeah.
Okay. 2008, the world saw the largest global economic crisis. Lehman Brothers went bankrupt, Merrill went, Bear Stearns went, Northern Rock had a run. And then we saw a double dip in 2010. That's when I was investing millions of dollars into entrepreneurs. One thing I realized was all of those who are able to go through bad times are ones that are focused on unit economics. And there is one rule only, that cash is key. And that is the cash that the business generates, not somebody else's.
Yeah. Yep.
So that mindset really helped us because During all that, I told you that a journey went all of this time, we kept focusing on whether the thesis that we made that as India becomes richer, as we attain prosperity, where will consumption grow?
Right.
If we have solved that problem, then we become the obvious solution at that time.
Okay.
And that is, I think that is what has happened. Maybe COVID helped in a funny way that people became more aware of people repriorities because I think in our grandparents' generation, people took care of themselves far better. It is only after economic liberalization 91 that people became more focused on materialism and then they forgot about their own health. And even Gautam Buddha says that you spend all your life trying to earn the wealth and then you try to spend all your wealth to reclaim your health. So we had this ancient wisdom, we forgot it, and I think we regained it. So because of our choices of the model, focus on product, and being patient to build trust and credibility with consumer and partners, I think that is what resulted here.
Wow. On that, what continues to be your North Star as a founder, other than customer being the king?
Hmm. I think the North Star is when people stop saying that big pharma controls healthcare and
Okay.
people start using words like big fitness and wellness control longevity and health span. Because I think that is what is going to happen. Currently, people think taking medicines or whatever is easier than taking care of themselves. So we have to make taking care so easy and so
Yeah.
flexible
Yeah.
that people shouldn't have a reason not to be able to.
Yeah.
So right now, people say very easily कि blood pressure की दवाई खा लो, 40 पे तो खाना ही है. This conversation has to change in my lifetime. I'm going to be 40 soon. This has to change before I retire. So in the next decade or so, this is the North Star that from being the diabetic capital or whatever that India commands, we need to change this narrative.
Amazing. I learned a lot, and I'm sure our audience also. So, thank you, Akshay. Those were incredible, thoughtful insights. We'd now love to open the floor to our Hello PM community. I'm sure they must be waiting to shoot some questions. Those of you who have any question, please raise your hand or you can type it in the chat and we'll take it from there. Okay, so I see one more question. As fitness consumption shifted dramatically during at that time, how did you determine the elasticity of demand for fitness in the new environment? Were there any unexpected insights you gain about user willingness to pay for digital fitness and in-person access?
Okay, so these are 3 questions. Okay. So did consumer demand change? No, I think latent demand became active demand. Because even before COVID or when we had started, if you ask anybody, do you want to stay fit? Do you want to get fit? Nobody's going to say no.
Yeah.
Were they actively making that choice? No.
No.
So several factors led to them suddenly being active choice makers versus passive thinkers.
Okay.
I think that changed after COVID. And other things like, okay, after COVID, if you look at TV ads, whether it's a condom ad on TV, whether it is a tea bag ad, whether it is a breakfast cereal ad or a bank ad, everything is being shot in gyms. Condom ad is not in a bedroom. Chai ad is not in a kitchen. Everything is being shot in gyms suddenly. So the amount of awareness that was being thrown at you to get fit or to take care of yourself was suddenly much higher.
Yeah.
Then the onus of us trying to educate you or push you, encourage you to become fit didn't have to happen. I just had to present myself as a solution. So I think a lot of factors contributed to latent demand becoming active.
Right.
What was the other part of the question? Sorry.
It was, were there
Willingness to pay.
Yeah.
I think digital fitness was people didn't really want to pay for digital fitness.
Yeah.
I think India still loves tangible experiences, and fitness is largely a community experience. Even if you look at our data today, people love doing group workouts. We did a study also. Gym traditionally is a negative word. I remember, if I remember the words correctly, people think of it as a dark, dingy place with men grunting. Okay. That is what people think as a gym.
Yeah.
So what really works today is fitness classes.
Yeah.
Group classes, trainer-led classes, where you're part of a community where it's high energy and it's quick. You come in 45 minutes, you're done and you're out. You're not spending 2 hours walking around the gym floor.
Yeah.
So this is what people are willing to pay for.
Yeah.
Work at home, people want to pay less. But you switch that to tier 2, tier 3, where our competition is only maybe Baba Ramdev.
Yeah.
He has done really well in trying to encourage the senior citizens or a slightly older demographic to take care of themselves. The younger guys are more aspirational, right? They want to
Yeah.
work out like Kohli does or like Katrina does. They want to do Pilates, they want to do CrossFit. All of that you can only bring. I can't go and open gyms and CrossFit centers in tier 2, tier 3 where because we're not a capex heavy model. And the
Yeah.
other guys who invest capex don't go there. So the only thing
Absolutely.
on there is virtually through digital
Yeah.
solutions. There, the willingness to pay is immense.
Okay.
But overall, I don't think that changed. Even during COVID, people weren't willing to pay a lot. But during COVID, we on what is called what we call it Fit Coach, which is an AI platform for fitness coaching. We launched it in 2018 when nobody spoke of AI.
Yeah.
Standardized coaching in India. So we launched it.
Oh.
We went to 7 lakh monthly active users in tier 2, tier 3.
Wow.
Today, FitPass's digital fitness solutions are being used in 543 different cities in the country. 543 is a very large number. I know it's very big country, but 543 is still a very large number.
Yep.
So propensity to pay has definitely increased. But the moment you give them a phygital solution, they will switch.
One question from my end, just it popped into my head. How different was the landscape for a tier 1 city than a tier 2 city? Because as I used to live in a tier 2, 3 cities, and there were no gyms. There were no concept of gymming and all that, only yoga and local gyms maybe. How was that different? How did you battle that? I'm sure there must be a huge gap.
So we didn't really battle it. I think we took it step by step. First, we solved for tier 1,
Right.
where the centers were there, infrastructure was fantastic. Even today,
Right.
if you just look at unutilized capacity in the market,
Yeah.
so we gyms that have capacity that is not being used, people aren't coming in, that is more than $2.3 billion worth. If I fulfill it at 100 rupees a workout, if
Yeah.
somebody's paying more than it's bigger, but $2.3 billion exists at 100 rupees.
Yes.
So you don't need to create any. So this opportunity in itself is so large. But
Yeah.
when we were doing this, we started getting demand from Lucknow, Patna, Agra, okay, and then Kochi. So there were these initial cities that started coming to us. So we said, how do we solve? That
Right.
is in 2017, we launched a nutritionist program called Fit Feast. We launched our AI program for coaching in 2018 called Fit Coach. And
Right.
then 2019 and 2020, the lockdown happened in 2020. Then these solutions helped us penetrate tier 2, tier 3. So it happened organically. Now, after COVID, we just have so many users were there that we're slowly expanding our network. So today, the FitPass Fitness Center network is in 103 cities.
Right.
So people after COVID are automatically opening gyms. Like we recently onboarded some lovely gyms in Bhagalpur.
Wow.
So Bhagalpur in Bihar as a place
Yeah.
where, and you look at the assets, the quality of assets is phenomenal. It is just that people in TMR are not realizing that aspiration to get fit, stay well, look good, be healthy is a common human aspiration. It is everywhere.
Yeah.
So you just have to serve it. So only if you keep your eyes open looking do you find that opportunity.
Yes. I think FitPass has really solved that problem. I live in Nagpur and everything is accessible here. Who would have thought? I live in county, so it's even remote. Now I can easily go in and around the gyms here, and thanks to FitPass.
Thank you for saying that.
Now, again, coming back to our audience, if anyone has any question, you can raise your hand. There is one question. Yeah. How do you collect, analyze, and act on user feedback at FitPass? It's coming from Sachin. You can switch on your camera if you wish to talk and ask more follow-up questions. Stage is yours.
Hi, Sachin. Thank you for the question. There's a variety of things that we do. One is the product side has various surveys, various places in the journey where there are interactions that we try and get feedback on which journey is working, A/B testing is happening, and feedback is being collected. Then if people are canceling, there is another journey of getting feedback. Then there is a telecalling team which calls and gets feedback. Then there is Google reviews, etc., where you get feedback. Then there is the partner network where we have a FitPass partner app where all these centers use our partner app. There is a lot of feedback that comes in from there because customers are actually experiencing at their center. So we get a lot of feedback from this. So there's a full team. Then there is a whole retention team that works only on this. So I think you have to collect feedback at various points of the customer's journey. Somebody who's been with you, like we have customers who've been with us 5 years running. Okay. So the feedback you get from them is very different to the customer who just walked in as a first-time customer. So you have to build all of that. I think this is an outcome of the longer you are in the market, the longer you stay. Sometimes even when you don't want to hear feedback, people will give you feedback. So,
Yeah.
so I think we just now got in at a scale where we have structured processes to collect feedback. But if you asked me this question 5 years ago, it was very haphazard.
Yeah.
But now feedback is, that's what I was saying, that our only focus is to keep building trust and credibility. So feedback is the most important cornerstone we have.
Yeah. Thanks, Akshay.
Thank you.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Thank you, Akshay. Thank you for the answer and thank you for the great product in the market. Thank you.
My pleasure. Thank you. I hope you use it.
Right, of course.
We do have another question coming from Aditya Singh. Sorry. How do you prioritize partner need versus user need? Although customer is the king, as you mentioned, so is it always user front? Aditya, you can switch on your camera and make it more conversational if you want.
Sure. Hi, Akshay.
Hi, Aditya.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, please.
yes, it is always user front in the sense that everybody who's opened a fitness center has opened it to serve customers.
Sure.
So customer experience and delivery of promised service to customer is what everybody has promised. FitPass and my partner.
Okay.
So user is always front. Now, if you're talking about only economics or commercials, no. Then user is not the only one in the front because both sides have to be balanced. This balance is what I was talking to you about for any shared economy, Uber or whoever. Uber had to convince taxi owners who are used to taking 2,000, 3,000 a day to suddenly start accepting 100 rupee rides.
Yeah.
So that kind of education, that kind of business understanding, we also have to build with the partners where they see us as subject matter experts, where we understand their business, we understand their issues, and we're able to give them solutions that mean something to them. Yes, well, we have to truly enhance profitability for them to be sticky. And one thing that I can say is we've never had any attrition in our partner network. And that is simply a factor of that we're able to deliver the promise. Why can you deliver the promise? Because we are user first. Users love us. That is why we can bring the user to them. If the users did not like us, we could have not helped them. So this alignment is key. And that is why user becomes front. But commercials, business, all of that has to be balanced. So that if the gyms don't make money, if the gym is loss making and they shut down, then the user suffers. So we have to make sure that they are making money, they're doing well, they're expanding. And you will actually see that after COVID, a lot of independent gyms who did not have VC money to burn, they had actually grown profitably, opened multiple centers. I think they are the true entrepreneurs who should be celebrated in the market, not people who have money and are making big celebrity endorsements because they are not profitable and they are not serving India. But these entrepreneurs who've gone from one center to 7 to 10 to 11, all profitably run, all are delivering good customer experiences. They are the true people. They are the people who are actually helping India get fit.
True. Yeah, I was talking economically in that sense because as you mentioned earlier that you have to keep your customer choices open because they will be sometimes tricky. They'll be asking for things like they'll be dropping out at the end minute. So at that time you have to balance that out with the partners to sure.
The same thing like, on Amazon, like the sellers don't make money. They're not going to stay on Amazon.
Yeah. Get it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Aditya Singh, and thank you, Akshay, once again. There's one more question. What goes behind the scenes while selecting the partners? Since FitPass credibility depends on how well the partners serve. This is coming from a request. If you can switch on your camera and make it more conversational.
Yeah, sure. Hey, Akshay.
Hi, Shaila. Good evening.
This is one of the space that was very close to my heart. I currently live in US and I see the difference. I'm also a ClassPass user and I go to other gym and I wanted to understand what is so I go to Orange Theory, which is not a part of ClassPass, but I also have ClassPass because I want to explore other fitness classes. So what are the things that you do while selecting a partner? Because there are certain standards that you want and there are certain standards for them to independently operate, and how do you balance those two things?
That's a good question. And that's actually the core thing that we have to keep focusing on. I'll tell you what we are today and why we are. So today, FitPass has, for the last 5 years, we've had a 134-point checklist. 134 points that the fitness center must meet our criteria on, which includes anything from the size of the asset to the wash areas, the wet areas, how they are, whether they have parking, whether they have valets, how many air conditioners, what is the certification level of the coaches there, what is the education level of the promoter of the fitness center. So it covers a long list. When we started, this was not the case. We could not dictate terms. So when we started, the criteria was what is your annual charge. So if you were an expensive gym, we wanted to be your partner because we wanted to make you affordable and get you more customers. But as we became bigger and as we started commanding more power because we had more users, so then we could start standardizing services. So until we did not have scale, it was difficult to implement or to get people to change who they were, how they were operating, how to deliver standardized services. Second, the reason we are able to do this in India, as opposed to in the US, you have chains like Equinox, corporate owned, large. Planet Fitness, corporate owned, large. India doesn't have any corporate owned chain that is large. Even the largest, loudest name in the market right now has maybe 100 assets. Okay, that they own themselves, maybe 150 assets. In a country where there are 20,000 assets only in the tier 1 cities, 20,000 assets that cost you more than 25,000 rupees a year. Okay, 20,000. Even if you have 500 of it, you have 0.4% of supply. 99.6% of supply is outside you. And they are disorganized. Because they're disorganized and we have the larger number of users, we can go to them and negotiate better and help them standardize. If they were large players, you would have to listen to them. But because here we are the largest player in terms of users, and those guys are all disorganized and different owners, and not a large player in the market, we can help standardize services. So how does FitPass do it? Is because now we've become bigger, so we're able to ensure that it is done. And because we had to put the user first, we have a 134-point checklist.
Awesome. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Like when you grow as a bigger player and how you have the upper hand in dictating the terms. Yeah. I think
But
it's
that is
also
because of the disorganized nature of the market. If this was an organized market, we would not have that ability. Like I don't think FitPass and ClassPass can go to Equinox and tell them what to do.
Yeah. And I think on the other hand, if it was organized, maybe it's less pressure on the company as well. You don't have to make so many changes or give some more feedback. That if that's more.
But yes and no, because customer choices are varied. You only learn over time what customers prefer and what large cohorts of customers prefer.
Yeah.
So any particular gym chain, even if we say Equinox, they're used to dealing with a certain type of customer who's their profile. When you open a membership base that is so large, you get variety of people.
True.
So you have to set protocols for everything. Your protocols can't be so limited that it only serves one target profile. So at that time, it becomes challenging with organized players, which is why I
Got
think although this market is unorganized, a lot of people fear the market because it is unorganized. I think because it is unorganized is why the consumer can win. And at the end of it, the consumer must win. If the consumer doesn't win, then the industry does not thrive. No sector can thrive if there is no consumer love in that industry. So because it is unorganized, the consumer can win. The consumer can win because we're trying to help them win, and that is why I think over the next 5-7 years, this will be way bigger than it is today.
Yeah. Thank you, Akshay, for those inputs. Appreciate it. Yeah.
Thank you, Shaila. Thank you, Akshay. Do we have more question, guys? Yes, there's one more, and I think this is the last for this evening. As FitPass scale, how did you balance qualitative feedback from user with quantitative metrics to guide product decisions and iterations? This is coming from Mayank Sapra, and he has already switched on his camera. So stage is yours, Mayank.
Hi, Akshay.
Hi,
Thanks for the
Mayank.
insightful session. The question is related to the one you've already answered, right? That how do you double down on the feedbacks that is being received from the users? There are multiple ways. You have partner apps. So these are all suggestions again coming from hundreds of users, right? But business has their own vision, own metric, not metric to track. So and again, it keeps on changing as the business scales. So how were you able to, let's say, balance that, or how did FitPass balance across the?
This is a very difficult question, and I don't think how it's not a past tense question. I think that is what we're actively doing every day, trying to balance this. And I think out of 365 days, if you're able to balance this more than 180 days, you have a fantastic year. Because you don't win every day and you don't balance everything every day. So how do we do qualitative versus quantitative? Now, at the scale that we are, there's a lot of quantitative data that we are able to collect. The full data analysis team. Yeah. So you get a lot of sense of what behaviors are like, what preferences are like. But truly, if you want to distill into the emotion that drives that preference, or the emotion that drives that consumption, or the emotion that drives any decision, because that is where the behavior of that data or that human being is what you need to understand to be able to solve. Data is the outcome. But unfortunately, can I talk to the 1,12,000 people working on daily? I can't. So you can only talk to maybe a few hundred. And you hope that those calls are meaningful enough for you to understand the emotion or the qualitative feedback. And then you try and distill it and marry it with all the data inputs that you're getting. Which is why I said that if 180, more than 180 days, we can balance this, that we're understanding the emotion. Because if somebody tells me they've loved our product, okay, they're doing 8 workouts a month, 9 workouts a month, 10 workouts a month, they're sticky for the last 7 months. But I need to know why. What is it that is keeping them sticky? That I can only know through my qualitative survey or my qualitative conversation. The data is telling me that they love it. Great NPS, great everything, great retention. But why? So that is where the balance is needed. So unfortunately, we are more data driven. Unfortunately, my background is math. I did math at Stevens. I did economics at Oxford. I did banking. So I'm a very black and white guy. I like my numbers a lot. If you ask me to write a big paragraph, I can't write. I can do bullet points. So for me, data is key. But that is where Arushi comes in. She is more qualitative. And that is where the balance comes.
Yeah, thanks, Akshay. Thanks, Shannon.
Thanks, Mayank, and thanks, Akshay. If you have some time, there is one more question, Akshay, if you're comfortable. And
Sure.
then we will wrap up the call because in context of time, we cannot take any more questions. It is coming from Vinod Kumar. What is one learning you would like to share with upcoming entrepreneurship, which helps them to find the right path point to address? Yes, Vinod has already switched on the camera. So yeah.
Action. Yeah, thanks for the insightful session, and it was very informative and it was encouraging. So I'm just trying to understand in your journey, you could have you clearly narrated like how you clearly understood the area of the opportunity basically. And there is a gap and how you rightly identified and you tried to build a business over that gap. So what would that one learning that if you would like to share with aspirants, right, who would like to take a similar path? So what would be the learning or it wouldn't be an advice, but what would be the learning that you would like to share with the fellow members? That in order to, if they want to implement or the same thing, right, in their field, so what it would be?
I don't know, like, there's so many things I can say. I don't know what the one will be, but I can share a couple. Okay. One thing is we built in a market where there was no market for it. There was no other player, there was no playbook, there was nothing. We were the first movers. Nobody even knew fitness was going to be important. People didn't have these. I told you all that. So I think one thing that kept us going was the fact that when we thought about starting, we did a lot of research and we convinced ourselves. Yeah, we built a thesis for ourselves and we convinced ourselves that this is a big problem to solve and it will only become bigger and we need to solve it. And we had a lot of dark days. A lot of days where everybody told us to shut it down. Aunties and shadis told us that we're wasting our careers. Our parents still don't understand it. Arushi and I had siblings, my brother, sister. Both their children were doing the same business, leaving their jobs. They still don't know what we do. So there were a lot of people telling us not to do, friends who tell us that you're wasting your time. But at these times, we would go back to why we made the decisions. We go through the information sets you had. And we look back and we said, if it still holds true, then you're on the right path. So if the ability to, while you're questioning your decision, the ability to go back and analyze objectively why you made that decision in the first place. If all of those hypotheses, assumptions, evidence are still true, then you made the right decision. Then you have to back yourself. Second, and if you made an error, write it down somewhere. So that is a big learning that you have to objectively look at your decision. You still make the same decision, carry on. If not, then you refine your path. Second is, so I used to play football for Delhi State, I played cricket for Oxford. So in my mind, I'm an athlete. So in my mind, I feel my mindset is an athlete mindset or a sports person mindset. What I mean to say with that is that you really, as an entrepreneur, every day you have to wake up and be stronger and better than yesterday. Because you face a lot of blows, you face a lot of negativity, but you have to recharge. So you must have that one thing or two things that help you recharge, rejuvenate, and help you stay true to the process. Because every athlete that you will hear, if Djokovic loses a point, he still may go on to win the cup. That point doesn't set him back. Everybody talks about the process. So you have to be true to your process. Results are not in your hand. So if result becomes your mission or your drive, then it is very difficult to sustain. If improving the process and process becomes your drive, and Dhoni will say, Dravid will say, and everybody will talk about the same thing, then you're able to get to your mission faster and clearer. So I think these two things, their ability to objectively look back and ability to stay true to process.
Great. Thanks, Akshay. That was very helpful. And all the best, and thanks for this lovely session.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Vinod. And thank you, Akshay. Again, a big thank you from HelloPM community, from Team HelloPM for joining us tonight. This conversation was packed with depth and so much of strategic clarity that, I mean, I can speak for myself and I'm sure my community is also grateful to you on this. We truly appreciate your time and your insights and will build India better, maybe. To everyone in the HelloPM community, thank you for being here and engaging so thoughtfully. Thanks once again. The full session will be up on your YouTube channel soon. So those who have missed it, they can access it.
Thank you so much for having me and for all the wonderful questions and for taking me back into my journey and to bringing me back with all these questions. Thank you so much. Have a lovely evening.
You too.
Yep.
Have a lovely evening. Thank you so much. We'll hope to engage in some more sessions maybe in future. So thanks once again, Akshay.
Cheers, guys. Bye. Have a good weekend.
Thank you.